Hi, beautiful souls. Today we're talking about one of the most powerful forces in life, change. Not the kind of change we brace for or resist, but the kind that wakes us up, energizes us, and quietly reshapes who we become. Change isn't something that happens to you, it's something that happens through you. It's not an interruption to your life, it is your life. And when you learn how to embrace it instead of fighting it, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your energy shifts. Your resilience deepens. Your sense of possibility expands. So many people feel fear when they think about change. The unknown triggers uncertainty, and uncertainty can feel unsafe. But what if discomfort isn't a warning sign? What if it's actually a signal that your nervous system is expanding, that your mind is stretching beyond familiar territory? Change often feels uncomfortable because it asks us to grow, and growth always happens at the edge of what we know. That edge is where life lives. Your brain is wired for novelty. It thrives on new input, new experiences, new ways of thinking. Every time you do something unfamiliar, neurons fire in new patterns. New neural connections are formed. Old ones loosen their grip. This is neuroplasticity, the brain's lifelong ability to rewire itself. Joe Dispenza teaches that when you repeatedly think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and react the same way, your brain becomes conditioned to stay the same. But when you introduce change, new thoughts, new behaviors, new emotional states, you quite literally build new neural networks. You don't just feel different. You become different. This is why change can feel invigorating. It brings energy with it. It wakes dormant parts of you. It activates curiosity and creativity. It feels like life moving through you instead of around you. That surge of aliveness isn't random, it's biological. Your brain releases chemicals associated with motivation, learning, and engagement. Your body moves out of stagnation and into growth. Change breathes fresh oxygen into your system. And here's the truth we don't talk about enough. Change isn't optional. It's necessary. Life itself depends on it. Everything in nature is in constant motion. Seasons shift. Cells regenerate. Rivers flow. Even the stars are born, die, and reform. Nothing living stays static. When we resist change, we aren't preserving life, we're pushing against it. In biology, survival depends on adaptability. Species that adapt survive. Those that don't disappear. The same principle applies to us emotionally, mentally, and physically. People who thrive aren't the ones who avoid change, they're the ones who learn how to move with it. Change isn't a disruption to stability, it is stability in motion. This becomes even more important when we talk about life, health, and longevity. Research consistently shows that psychological flexibility, the ability to adapt to stress, uncertainty, and shifting circumstances, is linked to better health outcomes and longer life. People who are adaptable tend to have lower levels of chronic stress, better immune responses, and healthier cardiovascular systems. When you resist change, your body often stays locked in fight or flight. Stress hormones remain elevated. Aging accelerates. But when you accept change, your physiology responds differently. Your system moves into regulation, repair, and growth. Getting good at change is one of the greatest life skills you can develop. It keeps you mentally agile, emotionally resilient, and physically vibrant. It keeps you young, not just in how you look, but in how you feel. Youthfulness isn't about age, it's about energy. And energy thrives on movement, novelty, and expansion. Change also builds resilience. Not the kind of resilience that simply survives hardship, but the kind that transforms it into momentum. Resilience isn't about bouncing back to who you were, it's about bouncing forward into who you're becoming. When you've faced change before and come through it, your nervous system learns that you can handle uncertainty. Each experience builds confidence. Each adaptation strengthens trust in yourself. This is where David Goggins' message resonates so deeply. He speaks about embracing discomfort as a gateway to untapped potential. His idea that most people quit at 40% isn't about punishment or toughness, it's about realizing how much capacity we leave unused because we avoid discomfort. Change demands effort. It asks us to stay present when things feel unfamiliar. But on the other side of that discomfort is expanded strength, clarity, and self-belief. When you build resilience, momentum follows naturally. You stop fearing the unknown. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You begin moving forward even when the path isn't fully visible. Momentum isn't created by certainty, it's created by trust. Trust that you can adjust, adapt, and learn as you go. At some point, you realize that life isn't something you stabilize and then rest. Life is movement, growth, evolution. And once you normalize that truth, everything changes. You stop thinking of change as something temporary or disruptive. You stop saying, "I just need things to settle." Instead, you live from a place where evolution is expected. Where growth is normal. Where expansion is the baseline. Comfort no longer means predictability. Comfort becomes confidence in your ability to navigate whatever arises. That confidence creates freedom. It allows you to take risks, follow intuition, and step into new versions of yourself without waiting for permission. Joe Dispenza often says that to change your life, you have to move beyond your familiar personality. Your personality is made of habits, how you think, how you feel, how you act. If those remain the same, your life will too. But when you consciously choose new thoughts, elevated emotions, and intentional behaviors, your brain reorganizes itself. You become neurologically prepared for a new reality. The body stops living in the past and starts aligning with the future. This is where science meets transformation. When you repeatedly rehearse new states of being, confidence, gratitude, possibility, your brain begins to wire those states as familiar. Eventually, they become automatic. Change stops feeling forced and starts feeling natural. Abraham Hicks teaches that you are always attracting based on your vibration. Change doesn't just happen externally, it mirrors your internal state. When you shift how you think and feel, you shift what you attract. Focus is powerful. Where your attention goes, energy flows. And energy is what shapes experience. When you embrace change with optimism instead of fear, you broadcast a different signal. You stop attracting resistance and start attracting alignment. This doesn't mean challenges disappear, it means they arrive as opportunities instead of obstacles. Energy plays a central role in all of this. Stagnation drains energy. Growth restores it. When you try something new, your system wakes up. Dopamine increases. Motivation returns. You feel more alive. This is why change often brings a sense of youthfulness. You feel lighter, sharper, more engaged with life. And people notice. When someone is growing, evolving, and open, others feel it. Energy is contagious. You don't have to announce your transformation, your presence communicates it. You become magnetic not because you're trying to impress, but because your energy signals movement and possibility. People are drawn to those who are alive in their becoming. There are countless stories that illustrate this truth. People who shift their internal state and experience outcomes that once seemed impossible. Individuals diagnosed with illness who use meditation, visualization, and emotional regulation to activate healing responses in the body. Entrepreneurs who change their mindset before their circumstances change, only to watch opportunities appear in unexpected ways. People who let go of old identities and suddenly find love, purpose, or fulfillment where they least expected it. Science supports these stories. Neuroplasticity confirms that the brain changes with intention and repetition. Studies on stress and resilience show that adaptability improves health outcomes. Placebo research demonstrates that belief and expectation can influence physical reality. The mind and body are not separate systems, they are deeply intertwined. Change is not chaos. It's intelligence in motion. It's life refining itself through you. So if you are in a season of change right now, know this: nothing has gone wrong. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are evolving. An evolution, by its nature, feels unfamiliar before it feels natural. Change doesn't ask you to be fearless. It asks you to be willing. Willing to stay present. Willing to learn. Willing to trust that you are capable of becoming more than you've been. When you stop fighting change and start cooperating with it, life becomes less about control and more about flow. Less about fear and more about curiosity. Less about survival and more about creation. Change is not something you endure. It's something you embody. It is the force that keeps you alive, awake, and becoming. And when you embrace it fully, you don't just move forward, you move into alignment with life itself. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt something shift while listening, take a moment to anchor that energy. Like this video so it can reach others who are standing at the edge of change. Subscribe if you want to keep growing, evolving, and expanding together. This channel is for those who are choosing momentum over fear, alignment over resistance, and becoming over staying the same. Stay here. Keep showing up. Keep choosing growth. Change is not coming for you, you are becoming it.